Hello, my friends. Welcome to tonight's episode of the Astral Calling here on twitch.tv/tabletop trolls. We have many other shows here on the channel. We have the Stardew Sunday on Sunday, which we're taking this week off. Salt and Sorcery on Saturday, tomorrow. Monday, Strength of Thousands AP. Wednesday, League of Amazing Adventures. We're off this week. Next week, we start the new campaign. Friday, Astral Calling. Here we are. We have some wonderful people with us. The person responsible for all the overlays playing Darius. We have Matthew. How are you doing tonight, Matt?
I'm great. Move on to the next person.
Then we have a person who has lovely eye makeup today, and it's poppin'. Rose.
It's good.
Playing
Hi.
Luna.
Thanks. Next.
Then we have Chad hanging out with us playing Vim.
All right, well, I'm ready for round 2 of McKenna.
And last but not least, we have McKenna playing Evie. Person
I
responsible
apologize
for, lovely
for
artwork.
nothing.
I have to edit this video. And that's going to make the video file balloon because I still haven't figured out how to make it not balloon.
Yeah, but that also means that you'll probably snap off the front 5 minutes of intro
Yes, I
time.
am.
So that's good.
Yeah, but either way, hello friends, welcome to tonight's episode of the Astral Calling. We are going to roll the intro and then we'll get started. Last time on the Astral Calling,
Canadian geese.
Canadian geese. I have
I thought somebody was
Okay.
playing Zelda.
No. I can
Focus.
I can finally have my
I was like,
windows open
who's
again.
secretly playing Tears of the
Okay.
Kingdom?
I forgot that it's not as late for y'all as it is for me.
Yeah,
Mm,
but I can finally have my windows open again. So I have my windows open because I like fresh air. As does my little Tamagotchi thing that McKenna got me onto. But last time, on the Astral Calling, our party started doing some salvage work for Helio. They sent them to a abandoned moon base that Helio was getting some salvage work done at, and had not heard from anyone at all. No one that they sent to this base. He had not heard from them. It was like, hey, I'm kind of worried about these guys. Can y'all
Left
go?
on red.
Can y'all go check on them? A feeling I'm very familiar with. Then, our party arrived there and began to explore an abandoned ship. They discovered a number of logs discussing the fact that the crew has been disappearing, and that the last member of the crew went down to the ship onto the base on the second last shuttle looking for everyone. Our party went down. They found some floating corpses. Those corpses came to life, started attacking the party. Party fought through them, went into the lunar base proper, went to a hallway. Oops. More scary things. These things are like fractal-like creatures, though. It's like reflecting pieces of glass in a humanoid form. Party dispatched with those pretty quickly and began to continue to explore the base. They found a room with a massive portal kind of blinking, with fluctuating with power. They also saw an observation room. They decided to go check that out. The computers were in power saving mode, but with some arcana checks, our party managed to get them up and running enough to access the logs. And I believe the last thing that our party saw was the log coming up and a younger Dr. Toletio kind of standing there. Says, hello, I am Dr. Toletio, and this is my science log. Looks very proud of himself for a second.
Oh, I do not see a log there. There are no trees.
Evie is glued to the screen.
All right, so, this thing doesn't have a movable camera. You'll have to take my word for it. To my right now is a room with a spatial portal. Now, initially, I was working on something that could cause astral teleportation to become more accessible for everyone in a means of creating a better way of supply and demand so that people could get the things they need quicker. And so that, people's lives could be improved. However, as many scientists often do, I have stumbled upon another discovery. Many people think that this world is the only one. However, this portal, well, it does not work as a portal, does work as a viewing platform. A viewing platform that allows one to see into parallel and then the powers down. And then there's just like a
What is
little
the parallel
there's just like a little battery like symbol. More power needed. Please reboot. Power grid.
I will do everything in my power to get this thing more power.
You would know
What?
that you'd have to go find like the generator rooms to do that from here. Like you squeezed what you could out of the system. You need to go re-up the generators.
Okay.
I'm just
Also-
saying that after seeing how my arc was on his little online thing, I see the resemblance now.
Yeah.
They're both dweebs.
They're
Darius-
both fucking nerds.
Vim's a bully now.
Oh boy.
Now?
Now.
Now?
Now.
Now.
Somewhere in the universe, Corley just shudders. Are you okay, Corley? Yeah, sorry, therapist. Just bad memory came up.
Oh boy. Darius is actually just staring at part of these these system banks with a somewhat concerned look on his face.
Will,
Mhm.
was any of this written about in any of the
Nope.
journals? No.
Nope.
This is brand new.
This is brand new to you,
Evie?
Evie.
With a look of like wild, reckless curiosity.
Evie, make me a history
Immediately turns and runs out of the room, mutters something unintelligible about finding a generator, and starts booking it
check. Evie,
and starts looking around for a
make
generator.
me a history check.
Okay.
Just whilst you're dry.
20.
20? Evie, you would easily be able to know that based on like the way Dr. Tolatio was in that video, that was probably like 10 to 15 years before your log started.
Oh, the early years.
Yeah, this is like graduate student Tolatio.
Okay. Interesting. Do I have any idea of where the generator might be? Just from a knowledge of like ships and bases and where things typically are placed.
I mean, it's probably in another room deeper in. You
Just
know
generally
that you
deeper
know
in?
that the general lab rooms have like these garage doors, so probably not something behind a garage door, but
Okay, I'll take that.
yeah, I'll give you that. I'll give you that for Evie's common sense.
Go down.
Oh, Evie, don't
this a
run
garage
away!
door?
Don't run away, Evie! Rash says. Oh God, I completely forgot to plug MB Stage. Go buy
Okay.
tickets for MB Stage productions. They're really good.
Yeah. I don't know if we have any Los Angeles folks in chat right now.
Yeah.
Oh?
Rose is in the Zoom call, so you don't count.
Unfortunately,
I
I don't.
don't
Unfortunately,
count.
I don't get that much info on the analytics.
Mm-hmm.
But
That is
yeah.
interesting that they don't give you that. Is this a door here, Will?
Yes, but that's another one of those garage doors.
One of the garage doors. Okay. Unfortunately, I can't see the doors themselves. This is a hallway.
There's a door here, and there's a door down here.
Oh.
And a door down here.
Darius suddenly
Okay.
comes out of the room, catching up.
I'm gonna go with this door first.
Look like a generator in that window. She
How
says
much?
with her
Are
little
there windows in
flashlight.
front of the doors?
No.
I assume because it lets me see that small sliver that I am peeking through something with a flashlight.
I did all the walls in this myself, so it's probably just me being sloppy.
That's all good. What are any of these?
These are huge generators.
Hell yeah!
Now, how are you going to carry it out of the room?
Blinking here, it says like power is at minimum power, and this appears to be the console to activate the generators.
Beep boop bop. Skibbity beep bop.
Make me Arcana check, Evie.
Not waiting, Darius. You will have to stop her.
Darius is not capable of being that decisive.
Concerned.
Make me an Arcana check, Evie.
Arcana. Oh no! I'm gonna use a hero point. Okay, 17.
Evie, you're going. You're typing. You activate it, and you hear the generators behind you begin whirling up, like beginning to activate. I need everyone in this room and Vim to make me a reflex saving throw, dexterity saving throw.
I don't have that skill.
Dexterity saving throw, DC 14. 19, success. Success.
I don't know why it's an advantage. It shouldn't be, but
Darius, you fail, so you're going to take 11 lightning damage. Everyone else will take 5.
That's nearly half my remaining.
Sorry.
As one of like the generators that was there and workable kind of like arced off as there was like a loose wire. It's kind of cauterized itself, but it now says that the generators are running at 50%.
How do I make them run at more than 50%?
You can tell that there's probably another generator room.
Darius, you do not look so good.
I'm probably gonna have to spend a healing on myself now.
Wait. Good kitty.
For the first time since you've met him, Darius looks almost a little upset.
Oh.
No, he's not actually looking at you.
Luna,
He's kind of just
pets him right here, and we'll give him a lay on hands for 10.
Oh, okay. Maybe I won't have to spend healing then.
I don't use my spells that often. I am going to use Cure Wounds.
I do have my own Cure Wounds, guys. I don't.
But I don't use my spells very often, so it kind of makes sense to use it. So you get a little.
Apologetic. I'm sorry.
There's 8.
I probably should have been able to.
That psychic shouldn't be there. It's 6 healing.
Avoid that. I'm a little distracted.
It's okay. I'm focused. Is there anything immediately in this room that looks like notes or anything? It's just generators.
This is all just power generation.
Evie, single-minded in her efforts, I don't think really noticed. She's like, "Oh yeah, that zapped me for a second, but I'm fine. I'm sure everyone else is equally fine." And I'm gonna go to these doors here.
Before Darius leaves the room, I just wanted to check: is there anything in here that looks like communication equipment or something that would indicate where communication equipment would be?
No, this appears to just be power.
Okay.
Luna, Evie, y'all see another happy little electrician room. Also, Evie, like looking at these generators, they are like heavy-duty generators.
This time, I will learn from my mistakes, and I would like to check these generators. Let me know if you need 4 different rolls.
I'm also staying out in the hallway this time.
For faulty wiring.
Just one perception check.
Perception or investigation?
Either one.
Okay.
Dealer's choice.
14.
14. Yeah, you don't see any faulty wiring on this one. It looks as though you went to the faulty wiring room first.
Fair enough. All right, that's an Arcana check to activate them.
Yep.
11.
Can I give the help action? Oh, it worked?
Yeah, 11's good enough. It's only a DC 10 for these. It's a very easy interface.
okay.
Evie, you start just like bringing up the power. Everyone else, now there's like lights going on throughout the whole facility in the hallway. And yeah, everything is up and running, Evie.
Evie zooms with a quickness, assuming this room is similarly void of notes or accoutrement.
Oh yeah, same thing. It was just the generator room.
Yeah, Evie's zooming back to the TV.
Okay.
My little fucking iPad baby.
Well, Evie, you must hurry. You must not rush. You do not want to get Darius shocked again.
It's
Sorry,
fine.
Darius. She's running. She's.
Now that you're in this room, this appears to now have a solid picture on it.
Darius is going to go into that room.
Oh no.
Oh.
Darius is gonna get sucked in.
Well, we know it's just
no,
a viewing,
it
though.
is just for viewing.
Oh, okay.
It is a TV.
I love that Luna. It was like paying attention and like.
It was a TV.
We're just both a couple of iPad kids.
Mom, can I watch Frozen?
Can I play Candy Crush?
You got games on your phone?
You got games on your phone.
So we'll start with Darius. Darius, the portal in front of you is kind of flickering still. It's able to stay solid for much longer now, but like every couple seconds it does like shut down. You can see on the edge of the structure are a number of arcane runes that appear to be etched into the stone. And just flickering on the portal is what appears to be like a mirrored version of this very lab.
You know, I'm going to go out on a limb here, having read stories of various magical artifacts and things that have been forged by people that could, reach out and touch their minds and everything. Darius is going to sort of just extend a hand and sort of try and exert his will and try and maybe make this thing show him something.
Darius, expend a spell slot of your level choice.
Darius is worried right now. I'm going to expend a 3rd level slot.
All right, roll me a d3.
This is what opens it up to second in.
Yep.
Nope.
It's not a
One.
TV now.
Darius, you concentrate and you send that spell slot to the portal. You see a number of the runes on either side of it light up, and then the image flickers out for a second, and the next time it flickers back on, you see a different area. You see you see yourself standing in the middle of a massive stage with like what appears to be a makeshift microphone.
Oh God,
and
it's Darius in alternate universe doing stand-up.
You just see Darius with like this huge congregation of people. The righteous light of creation shall create a new order for us. And like a whole bunch of people are like, yeah. It appears to be Darius with like a huge congregation.
The cult of Darius.
Yeah.
I don't like Wish Darius.
And like as that scene like continues going, it then flickers back out and goes back to that last scene.
It occurs to Darius now that even if he could get this thing under control, it obviously can't show him what he wants because this is a portal to alternate universes. So Darius just kind of plops down on his hind legs, his 4 legs in front of the portal, and just kind of looks from the back. I guess you guys can see through the window. He just looks defeated.
We wouldn't have heard that, but we would have seen it from here.
Yeah, you would have seen just like, boom.
But
you
even
would have
like
seen the picture change. I don't know how much of it you would have been able to make out.
Right, but we were there's like something.
I also have a Luna between me and where Darius would be visible, and I'm also facing almost
I
the
feel like
opposite
you're
direction.
very much focused on.
I did say singularly
Yeah.
focused.
Yeah.
Vin's trying to keep track of like everything and how well that works is
Luna probably would have been like, "Ooh, shiny."
Oh, nice.
Jumping back to TV. Team Evie. TV. Evie, now that you have access to it, the video does pop back up. It goes through the whole beginning bit again. Oh, portals into other universes. Other versions of our reality, slightly different from our own, or drastically. By expending magical power, I find that I'm able to aim it slightly, but I cannot usually aim it at a reality. Specifically, it kind of depends on how much magical power I pour into it. Give me a moment. You hear some like clanging, and then and you see them like the camera begins shaking a little bit, and like their thumb goes over the lens for a second, and they like turn it, and now you can notice like the little web camera on it appears to have basically been taken out. It's like been screwed and unwired so that you can move it around more easily. And it's now pointing towards the portal, which is currently off. All right, so now if I activate it, and the portal flashes to life, and on the other side of the portal, you see another Dr. Toletio. Desperately working, like they appear to be like writing down things onto like a script. Oh, this is a new universe. I've not seen this one yet. Interesting. And he's just kind of like watching, and then this Dr. Toletio looks up as if he can like see the camera where it's at, and then there's just panic on his face.
Whoa.
And he's like waving his hands like with a no, turn it off. And as like your doctor, I wonder why he looks so panicked. From behind him, slithering into the room, is a skeletal snake-like creature that has been covered in those runes that everyone but Darius can see.
Oh, Darius.
Oh.
And this is on the video feed. This isn't in the room right now.
Right.
And it just like looks up, and if a bone snake could smile, it smiles. And like as it like slithers out of the room, there's like this trail of ice following behind it. After it leaves, you see that other doctor quickly scribbling on a piece of paper, and he holds up the first piece of paper. It says, there is a connection to yours now. Next one. They will come for your universe. I can't stop them.
This is some Doctor Who shit. I'm sorry. I'm
sorry. I'm so sorry.
So let me be clear. The snake was... So there's the TV screen, and then there's the portal in that TV that the camera is filming. The snake was in the portal.
The snake was in the portal.
Okay.
The snake was in the alternate universe.
And now they are very likely in our universe. Is that the end of the tape?
There's a few more. It appears to be basically research. Like he's trying to find more universes, and he starts coming across more and more that are just empty. Like there's nothingness. It's just devoid. And 3 or 4 more go by. Empty. Devoid. Empty. Devoid. Then he gets back to that other universe again, and that Dr. Toletio sees and runs towards the portal and just scribbles, "They are coming, run." And then the next log is a skeletal snake figure typing onto the console, looking at the camera. Quizzically, that same smile. And then it just types, and then the thing shuts down.
Ugh. Well, we don't find out what
That is
what he was
sufficiently
typing.
skeezy. Oh, I did not like that. Good job, Will.
It helps that you don't like snakes.
I don't like snakes.
Danger
definitely,
noodle.
definitely blank vibes, which also just triggers me from like not triggers. Like I'm okay. I'm not like a.
But yeah, the fight
but,
or
like,
flight
the fight or
from
flight from
like the Doctor
blank,
Who
like,
phase that we all
yeah,
had.
exactly.
Yes.
Can people who are watching the tape just maybe make me a perception check on the skeleton snake?
I will make a -1
Just to
modifier
notice something in the
perception
chat.
for you.
What was
Yeah.
it? Was it dripping
Ooh,
some
nat
black
20
oil?
from
Well,
Luna.
Not 20.
Nat
from
20
Luna.
from Luna. Why is it always Luna who notices shit that?
Because you roll
Anyway.
nat 20s
from the mouths of buns.
ridiculous times.
From the mouths of buns.
The snake creature around its eyes, where the skull, like where its eyes should be, the eye sockets were still inside of it, but they were completely closed. You might be able to infer that that creature was blind.
Chad! Chad is just kind of like boop boop boop.
I didn't do it. I didn't do it.
It was like it when I got here.
I do not think that snake can see.
Oh.
Point
Yeah,
is no.
it's on
observation,
it's on
Luna.
a screen. It wouldn't be a. This is like something that happened in the past, right?
No. Look. The eyelid. There are eyelids, but they are closed.
And then, the
Luna's
trail was
right.
crossed.
It is very hard to see with your eyes closed.
Right. Fascinating. Are there any more tapes?
Not after that one.
So
And
was
Evie, now with the context you have, some like the very earliest sort of like generation of like the journals and of the logs that Dr. Toletio has, this was probably the incident that began their research into their current line.
Oh. I don't know if I would immediately. You see Evie finally like pull herself away from like the LED screen, and she just says, It is my understanding that there was something to do with this incident that inspired Toletio to start on his experimental journey trying to create life from essentially nothing.
Oh,
But I am failing to draw a
because he is
connection
your
between the motivation.
dad, right?
Not in any biological sense.
No, but
He
he made
is
you.
the person who created me, and raised me. I have
Well,
never referred
if
to him
I
as
was your
a
dad,
father.
and I'm glad that I am not your dad, but if I was him and I saw those scary empty voids, I do not like the scary empty voids. So if
No.
he is like me, which I think he might be, because we both like you, I would want to put nice things in that world.
Oh. That's an excellent hypothesis, Luna. And very like him. He's philanthropic like that sometimes. That's a wonderful idea and a wonderful dream. And I am very excited to be a part of that. Where is Darius?
he's in the other room?
Oh, he is through the glass.
Ears
Darius,
drooping a little.
As you are sitting there, can you make me a wisdom saving throw?
Me?
Yep, DC is 16.
12.
Take away a spell slot of your lowest level that you have available.
Okay.
as you kind of just feel the portal leeching magical energy away from you.
Oh.
And
I'm aware that it's the portal doing this.
Yes. And then it flickers back on and off again. And now you see Darius, you see yourself in a large corridor fighting with like what appears to be a rifle of some sort, firing it down like a hallway. The holy symbol around your neck is very different though. Instead of the spark of creation that has this like beautiful spark, it appears to be more of like an ember of creation. Like it's smaller, it's less. And as this Darius is fighting things, you just see like this rune-covered hand just like swipe at this Darius's chest, and then the picture disappears.
Knowing that it's draining my spell slots, I'm gonna make my way out of the room. Make my way back down. I'm making my way
downtown.
pass back into the room.
Darius, was that an alternate version of you?
I mean, I would assume so based on what we heard briefly from the journal.
Whoa.
Hmm.
I am tempted to look through it to see what alternate versions of myself might be out there. But, there's an important thing to know here, Darius, which is that looking through these portals too often may invite unpleasant creatures through them.
Well, then I suppose...
The rune snake bone things.
Yes, they are. They are tied to something that I probably wrote down. That organization that one guy who died did. God damn it, I didn't write it down. Well, that's on me.
I will roll to try to remember.
Resigned. Let us move on then, perhaps. We have more of the facility to explore, and we have not found any survivors, though they may be, and we may... it might be a matter of time, so we best take a move on, unless you have more things to discover.
Evie,
Right.
It does look like
I
there's...
came here with a purpose.
It does look like there's an interface on here to like access the portal and activate it if you want to try it.
As yourself said, that is probably not the best idea. Not to mention, what is there to learn exactly?
Don't ask that. That's counterintuitive to what you're
There are
aiming.
many things to learn by viewing alternate versions of yourselves. For example, how a person might react under circumstances that you never thought you would see yourself reacting to. That is fascinating information to learn about oneself.
Is it worth inviting that little creature into our...
Also, contrary, we have no guarantee that anyone through these portals who may even resemble us are anything like us, and gauging their reactions based on our frame of reference is guesswork at best.
What did you think of the you that you saw?
I did not care. I think we should proceed now. Darius leaves the room.
I lean to Luna and I just say, it sounds like he did actually care.
We probably need to tell Helios to blow this place up, by the way.
Oh yes, dearie, that would probably be for the best, Rash says.
Is Rash Mrs. Doubtfire now?
Oh, dearie. Rash is Irish
dearie,
now.
It's me.
Was run by fruiting.
Oi.
He's the boy that builds the boats. He's the boy that sails her.
If we let this just be, somebody's gonna come in here and do something crazy. So
do we check any of these other rooms before
we have checked no other rooms yet. By the by, Darius might be a little curt. I am not in a bad mood or anything. I'm just checking. Acting. Is there a door here? I can't see inside it.
It's a push button to open it. Do you guys want to open it?
Oh, yes, I would like to.
All right.
There are more of the fractal.
Yeah, you see some more.
Oh no, math ghosts
floating in this room.
Math ghosts.
They appear to be slightly empowered with the portal and the power now returning here.
I'm gonna try a bold maneuver here. Push the button to close the door.
I think these things can go through walls.
We haven't proven that yet.
Oh.
They did
Oh,
go.
that's
They
not-
actively went through a wall last session.
Oh, we are rolling initiative.
We are
I
rolling
will
initiative.
add myself to that order.
Usually,
Second nat 20 of the night.
Oh, damn.
Evie,
Keep getting work.
Vim, Luna. Somebody rolled Rash's initiative.
I did.
Oh, are you going to run Rash?
Yeah, just
Hell yeah.
Nice.
Chad, you get an extra hero
I need
point.
redemption.
Oh.
You get an extra, you get an extra hero point, Chad, because I'm happy. I
Red
don't
Vim
have to
Redemption.
run. No, that's the Western. Luna, you're
Just
up.
random bug person shows up, shoots somebody, and then leaves.
I mean, that
The
could happen.
nubs. Guess I am first.
Mm-hmm.
I will go over here.
All right.
And
That box is like a 5 foot by 5 foot box, so it's a very big box.
I can reach.
15.
I can reach.
That'll hit.
I
Take damage.
can fight.
Pew.
6 damage. Nice. All of it goes through because that is a magical sword.
Yeah.
All right. Rash.
Checking something real quick. Okay, don't have that yet.
Red. Orange.
Okay, with so yeah, I'll just right here and just gonna ready an attack.
All right. Evie.
I go pew pew.
Roll to pew
I
and
go
or pew.
pew pew. Does a
Nice.
17 hit for one singular damage?
One damage.
17 hits and you deal 1 damage.
Pew pew.
Alrighty.
That's my turn.
This one's going to have to dash to get there, but it gets to there through a wall.
Bro.
Vim.
Well, since this thing's all up in my face, I guess I'm just gonna fire at it
Alright.
once I pull up the correct character sheet.
Bum ba bum ba bum ba da 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 bum ba dum ba dum. It is a ranged attack and should that be?
I have crossbow expert.
Yes!
Oh yeah, that'll do it. Roll your damage.
Yeah, that was my level 4 thing. Was I took crossbow expert.
No, roll your damage
Nice.
then. 20 points of damage. It's still up.
All right. The other fun thing about crossbow expert, bonus action attack.
Misses. Goes wide.
There.
Alright.
Yeah, that'll be it.
This one's going to get right up towards you, Luna.
Oh,
It's going to try to drain some of your life. An 18 to hit you.
that will hit.
5 necrotic damage and make me a con save. Your maximum hit points are not reduced. Darius is your
Not this time.
Not this time.
They've already been reduced, I think, twice.
Darius is going to look at these ghosts and remembering that his weapon is not magical at this time and it's not going to be that effective. It's just going to try a sacred flame on the red dotted ghost.
Alright. Fire at will.
Dexterity save.
Fails. 2 damage. And
2 radiant damage, if that's any consolation.
dissolves into nothingness.
Just hear Darius actually growl a little under his breath. Don't have time for this.
Anything else,
Ooh,
Darius?
spicy.
Darius is going to he's going to run up and is looking unhappy at the other orange ghost here.
Alright. Luna.
Um,
Oh
as
god,
a-
I just understood your last name.
Little love? Like
Yeah.
a little rabbit?
Yeah, I just understood that.
Little bunny. Yeah.
That's amazing.
What's the last name?
Little Lop, which I just thought was really funny to say. Yeah, like little bunny.
Little lot.
Aw.
All right. Yeah, she's a little moon bunny. So I'm gonna cast as a bonus action heroism to give myself an extra D4 radiant damage on my attack here, which is a 22 to hit
That's a hit.
for 10 magical slashing and 3 radiant.
Still up.
Ooh.
Rash.
We're gonna get behind.
Yep.
And we're just gonna do an
Hits. And you have redeemed
much
yourself.
fire.
You've solved my fractal ghost puzzle.
Thanks, Griffin.
Nice.
Searching this room for anything interesting, worthwhile?
Investigation, perception checks.
Perception.
23.
13.
Hidden behind one of the boxes, it looks like it fell down. There is a flash drive of some sort, Evie. Other than that, all these boxes are emptied out. It looks like they were cleared out in a hurry.
Very interesting to Evie.
Extremely interesting to Evie. Did I move?
Gosh, that reminds me of a joke. What comes after USA? It's USB.
Oh,
Matt, you get a hero point for that.
I mean, I feel a little dirty,
Matt,
but I'll take
you
it.
get a hero point for that. That's amazing. I'm going to start using that joke.
Oh no.
You wouldn't.
This is a threat.
You would.
Okay,
All
good.
right. Is there a door down here?
No, that's a window that appears to peer into the room.
They really liked watching in this particular installation, huh?
Luna, you have what appears to be a singular bedroom. There's a bed, there's a desk, there appears to be like a instant food cooking area. Like you push a button and it makes food appear.
I wait.
you know Luna's gonna push the button.
Yeah. Like
Muffin button?
It's yeah, there's like a muffin and a muffin pops up onto it.
Muffin button.
I wave at Luna. I give her a thumbs up.
There is also like another console.
She just like holds up the muffin, like very excited.
Yeah. There is also another console on that desk.
Like a computer?
Yep.
I zip around. Assume I'm doing all of the zipping around and not just moving through this window.
Yeah.
Oh, I can't move through this window. God damn it.
You can. It's a wall. It's a wall. I actually gave this map walls. I took the time for it.
Anything else worthwhile in this room?
There's the bed.
there
It's-
is a
it's
bed,
very utilitarian.
This Darius. She pushes the button and hands you a muffin.
After a moment, Darius takes the muffin. Gracious. Thank you, Luna. But I suppose if there's
you're
nothing else
very
here, we
welcome.
should probably move on.
You said
Did
there was a
not know
console?
Yep,
if
there's
the
a console
computer
on the desk
here
there.
might be of interest to Evie.
It is of interest.
She likes computers.
Do you
And
start
if
I-
it belonged to her dad,
Stupid
then
Evie.
maybe it has something from him on there.
there are more logs.
I just realized we're doing like the audio logs thing from a video game.
Yeah.
Day 45.
Day 45.
The sounds have increased from outside.
The video of this one, McKenna, is there's only one journal on this thing. It looks as though the rest of it has been wiped. The only video on this one is of a Dr. Tolatio. They appear to be injured. Like they have like a gash across their chest. It's like 3 claw marks. And you just see them kind of like bandaging themselves up. It appears as though the other me's warnings were true. And he just kind of like pulls into frame like a deceased skeletal creature. A snake covered in those sort of runes.
Nice.
Thankfully, I was able to defend myself this time, but if more of these creatures come after me, I don't know if I'll be able to make it. They're here now. I brought them here. This is my own fault. I need to solve this problem. I also need to be safe, though. I can't stay in one lab for very long. Need to limit my labs to one experimental lab. Abandon them. Afterwards, hopefully then, the experiments I leave, the progress I make, I can take with me, but the experiments that I leave, the halfway points, the quarter points, can maybe cause these things some trouble along the way. Defend me while I move on to the next one and improve upon them. Need to make something that can deal with these. A life form, perhaps? Maybe. Try that. That'll be next. Life form. Something that can deal with these. And then it just kind of turns off.
Oh, so you are made to be a hero.
Oh, maybe.
Are you okay?
Yes. Yes, because he needed to leave behind an experiment in a laboratory where he was, where if these things were after him, it would have been where they were chasing him, and he didn't leave me at a laboratory. He left me with my arc, which isn't the same thing. So I think it'll be fine. It'll be fine. It's fine. I'm fine.
You do not sound very fine.
We should check on Darius. He is the one that does not seem fine to me.
Okay. Damn, any other Rose character would have been like, you're deflecting. But no. Not sweet Luna.
I mean, Vim heard all of this.
Oh.
Darius.
Is Vim like...
Darius.
Vim, when Evie comes by, Vim is necessarily making at whatever eye contact one can with Evie.
Evie just keeps walking. You can tell something's eating at her.
Oh no, it's space parasites.
Oh, that could be a fun encounter. I have to add that to the space.
Would it though?
Yes.
Oh.
I
Which
mean, do we
direction
need
did
to play
people
Metroid
go?
Fusion?
The Chozo.
There they are.
The Parasite X.
Yeah.
Aren't the Metroids themselves parasites?
Yeah.
So
They certainly
Them
look
too.
like them.
you appear to have cleared out this.
They're
area.
biological weapons, like Evie.
Yeah.
She'll have this
Um,
biological weapons.
Yeah, I think isn't there some stuff to explore down this part of the hallway?
there was the stuff down there, but you can infer that it just connects to the dock.
Oh. I'm trying to think then of where we haven't gone.
I think we have
You've
fucked
done-
around
you've
and
done-
found out.
You've done everything in here. You guys have fully explored this area.
Yeah, no, I would say that we have
Well,
fucked
no, I mean-
around and found out.
Where's the other area then?
This
Back
is
different way of
this
the
is-
docks?
yeah. It's so remember how
There
the
were
docks had the two
Two
stairs?
entrances.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I was thinking there might be more, because I figured there might be other people that would have been here and we haven't seen anybody.
No, they all got thrown out to the docks by these things.
So that's
Let's
not much.
Hey,
Back to the docks,
Darius. Oh, here. Apologetic. I think that maybe. Oh, you have continued on and left me behind. That is okay.
Sorry, I
will
thought that
catch
was.
up.
I was really far
no.
zoomed out. I thought that was Luna for a second.
No, it is the other pink one. That is okay. I have caught up. Apologetic, but I think that perhaps Evie and I might have been a little reckless today, and I am sorry because that appears to have concerned you. And I think that you are very smart, and we would probably be safer if we stopped and listened to you maybe a little more.
apologetic. Two things. One, you don't need to preface your things with adjectives. That's just something my people do. I'm not sure I've ever explained this, but amongst my people, there's a lot of subtlety in facial expressions and the placement of ears when speaking, and a lot of it is lost on other peoples. So we try and compensate by making things extra clear with our apologetics and our curious and our cautious and all that. You don't need to do that. Second, I apologize if I seem out of sorts today. It has nothing to do with any of you.
Are you
I
sure?
was supposed to receive a message either I think sometime today or possibly even yesterday, and I haven't heard anything, and I'm just a little on edge and concerned. But
From
that is my
who?
from someone I know. They've been sending messages. I just haven't heard anything from today, and they said they were going to get back to me soon. To someone I know, I'm just a little worried about them. Maybe it's probably nothing. It's almost assuredly nothing. I'm sure everything is fine. I'm sure everything is
Do you
fine.
know where they're supposed to be?
They're supposed to be exploring. Remind me, well, what was it called?
It is a zone of wild magic.
A zone of wild magic. So I can imagine that there's a high likelihood of some.
Reception might be fuzzy there.
Yes, and it's very likely unexpected things probably happen. There's delays are almost assured. Their ship might have been turned into a potted plant for a brief amount of time. That's wild magic for you. So I'm sure it's fine. I'm sure it's fine. Let's keep moving.
Something
Everybody
occurs.
keeps telling me that they are very fine, but they do not sound
Something
very fine.
does
Well, then
occur to me,
perhaps
though.
it is that we are all fine and we should keep moving.
Or everybody's lying. But something does occur to me that we don't have to discuss at length, but I find interesting, to say the least.
Yes, Finn?
We know Rash has family all around. We've seen a couple of them, almost killed one. But we know that, family around. We know something about. We know as a group that I was taken care of by Mother Myrtle. We know that Evie knows this Dr. Teletio that keeps popping up in interesting ways. Luna's a little different, but that's not her fault. She doesn't have the memories, but we know you know other people, Darius, but we don't know anything about these other people you know. And I just noticed that and figured I would share that I noticed it.
Mild befuddlement. Okay. I applaud you on your observationalness.
I applaud you on your evasiveness.
I mean,
In fairness,
are you
to
asking
him,
a question?
have you asked Darius much of anything about his personal life?
Actually, you kind of just did, and even then it was very vague
Oh,
about
that
the
did
response.
not sound like a question.
Yes, respectfully, there wasn't actually a question in there. That seemed like at most, and I do apologize again, a bit of a passive aggressive remark intended to be a question without actually being a question.
No, when I asked who was supposed to send you a message, you evaded the question. You just, someone I know. And just left it up. I'm just saying, I'm not saying
Would
you
you
have
like
to tell me.
specifics?
I'm interested, but I'm not telling you have to. I'm just saying it was noticed.
I
And if
imagine
you want to share,
Vin doing the
we can
nubs like this.
yes, he's absolutely moving. I'm curious.
Darius just stares at you, and then a
plainly.
seam appears in his face.
I'm curious if you want
No.
to plainly why you do seem a little more evasive about it.
Honestly, I can't say I'm intentionally being obtuse or anything. I've been on my far wander for a little while now, and it's just sort of become second nature not to just sort of freely offer too much of myself necessarily. Um, I like to think that there is good in all people, but I have learned through the course of my travels that there are people who will, if you give them a sort of an inch, will attempt to take a mile from you. They're unscrupulous people, so um, I've been cautious with my details. I don't. This sounds a little crass. I don't run my mouth, so to speak. And also, I think there's an element to the fact that I am perhaps just by nature, a bit of a private person. But I feel we have all become some level of good companions. We've faced life and death together, so to speak. And I'm not sure necessarily this is the best place and time, but if
Well,
it
we
can
don't-
set
yeah,
your mind at
We
ease,
don't have to expound on it here.
well, then I appreciate you bringing these concerns to me. I apologize that if it appears I have been evasive or intentionally obtuse, because that was not my intent. Um, I would love to sit down and have a conversation where you can ask me almost anything. There's certain things, of course, that are private,
Oh, let's
but
do it over a nice dinner, Rash says.
The pirate man. Hi, mateys. We'll do it over a nice dinner.
I don't have a good Maya impression yet. I've only known her for like 18 weeks.
I
this
accept.
just reminds me of so
But then 18
couldn't do a
weeks?
vampire
Yes, that's
accent.
what 18.
I want to
This is
suck your
episode
blood.
18.
I accept that you accept
That's episode
that we are
18?
bonded in the forges of dragon revenge, and then he just like scoots off.
I didn't necessarily agree to that.
Yes, you did. That's what I heard.
Vim is like a toddler.
Nubs it all.
Remind me to get some stickers at the next port we're at then.
I'm not the one in this
Um,
party that's going to get caught by that.
Are y'all leaving the station as it is? Do you want to... Are
We
y'all
should
leaving?
maybe turn the power
I thought we
off.
were going to the other part of the station through the docks.
No, there's
Let
no
us
other
see if
part.
there's-
It's just the docks in this.
Oh,
area.
this is it?
Yeah, this is it. You've explored every part of the station.
I don't have the theoretical, if I had plans to theoretically obtain explosives, I theoretically don't have those yet to blow this
That's
place
not
up.
where my mind
Why
went.
would we want to blow it up?
No, this is real
because-
estate for our...
Yeah, which they shouldn't be building a club where they can open portals to bring weird skeleton things. I'm not saying blow the entire what is this, a meteor or
It's a
It's a moon.
It is a
moon? Blow this moon up. I'm just saying this place.
Cautious. Let's just be clear though. The portal or viewer or what have you is a machine. If it is dangerous, we can just unplug it.
But things that are unplugged could be plugged back in.
It can
Yes.
also be deconstructed. That would not be difficult.
Yes, I could probably take out a few vital support beams right now, and it would. You'd be amazed how little you have to do to certain machines to
Okay,
get
if you
them to
want
not function. A bent wire or a connection, if you disrupt a circuit, an entire mechanism can be rendered inoperable.
Okay, then we should do that so that nobody is tempted
Oh,
to bring
Okay.
weird.
Darius
I will
starts
stand
ambling back
guard
in.
I'll
and
take
eat a
care of it,
muffin.
but I want to make sure that we have fully searched everything. Will, I'm sorry. I'm hearing conflicting things about whether or not.
So there is the dock where you came in, right?
Yeah.
And if you see here, the lower stairs here,
Yeah.
just
Those lead into a
go-
different part.
No, they lead in.
They're down here.
They lead to the south here, to this entrance.
Oh, so we looked through all of that and there's like no signs of anyone except for
Other
the
than
one guy
We
with
saw the
cards?
corpses.
Well, no, because there
There
were
were
four,
more of them.
There were four of those. There were four of those bodies out here. There were more people, but they're just completely gone now.
Okay. And there's no sign of
And there's
anything of
no
where they might have
trace of
gone.
them, other than
Oh, that's
the
not
last
good.
couple you found.
Also, do I believe Evie when Evie says she's going to dismantle this thing and she's going to take care of it?
Oh, absolutely not. Evie goes right in front of it and she wants to use a spell slot to look through it.
Okay. What level spell slot are you using?
The only one I got, which is level 1.
Oh, awesome. All right. So, Evie, you see Evie yourself, styled a little bit differently, actually. Though they're sort of like instead of the two pigtails, it's like a more sensible bob that they've made for themselves. And in addition to that, they appear to be in more of like a bulkier sort of dress. Instead of like a lab coat, it's more of like a thrown together like patchwork, like leather jacket type of thing. And then what appears to be a coat very reminiscent to Luna's over top of it. And then you just see her kind of wandering a ship by herself. And it looks like she's like talking to someone, and then she like turns to face this person, and you see what appears to be a female version of Darius's species.
Oh, interesting.
Is anyone else in the room right now?
I was staying out in the hallway because I didn't want to drain my spell slots.
Well, it's drained Evie's, and it just kind of like lingers, and the two of them appear to be having a conversation.
I can't read lips.
You can.
Can I try?
Yeah. Make me a. This would just be a general intelligence check.
Watch
Okay.
this turn into a bad lip reading video.
16.
Nice. You see the cat folk. Not the cat folk. The Darius, the cat centaur. It appears they're introducing themselves. All you make out is the name Nito.
Nito?
Nito. N-Y.
Nito.
Yes.
Okay, which is a name that McKenna has that Evie does not. That now Evie does have, but she doesn't have the connection that McKenna does. Will used it in your conversation with her, and I wrote it down. I wrote Nito,
I remember.
Darius's heart, question mark?
I remember.
Yeah, it's like imagine like a slightly more mature looking Evie, and Evie alter for Matt and Rose's benefit.
Are they doing anything specific?
They
Just
appear to
introducing-
basically, like, Evie appears to be introducing themselves, and Nito appears to be, like, alone, and then you basically see Evie, like, moving towards what appears to be an airlock and just pulling down, and then you just see a whole bunch of bodies floating into space, and then it flickers away.
What bodies? Whose bodies?
Whole bunch of humanoids.
Yep.
Uh-oh.
Very unspecific.
Well...
So, Rose, are you actually eating a giant s'mores, or is that...
No, it's a Baymax.
It's
Okay.
Baymax.
I couldn't see from the back.
It's Baymax.
You said, looked like you were biting it, but I thought, like, no, that would be so many crumbs.
That's 4 years of acting school. That's
Acting.
a B.A. degree right there for you. Acting. Where's my Oscar? Oscar?
This would be a Webby.
I mean, I got a Tony for you if you want.
Really? I'll take it.
Sure. I got a stack of them over here somewhere.
Fantastic.
But yeah.
Evie does in a weird way almost seem comforted by this, which is very weird, especially considering the whole bodies in the airlock situation. Because I'm assuming like the introduction is like very amicable. They're just like, oh,
You could see from your own body language that it was like a very cold introduction on Evie's part.
oh, interesting.
Yeah.
And on Nito's?
Confused.
Interesting.
I don't hear dismantling going on in there.
Evie goes around to the back and unplugs it.
More than that.
Make me Arcana check.
You know the chaotic evil thing to do? Unplug the power cord and then snip the end off.
Yeah.
So it can't be plugged in.
You've
Yeah.
unplugged it, It could just be replugged in. If you want to like fully disable the machine, it'll be another Arcana check.
Yeah. 22.
If you come out in the hallway, I could slap you with a guidance.
You go and you basically like corrupt a bunch of the runes, and you basically make this object unusable and unrebuildable.
Ooh.
Like someone couldn't reverse engineer it.
Oh my.
Sick.
Challenge accepted.
But I could.
Yes, you could.
Because I. Da-da-da-da-ba-bop. It is dismantled.
Okay. Is there anything else that needs to be destroyed here?
I suppose we could turn off the generators.
I mean, is
Yeah.
that the environmental thing to do?
They're like little mini nuclear reaction generators. Like they're all like singular nuclear fission generators.
Oh,
And we should
Yeah,
probably
yeah.
definitely turn them off on account of.
Oh, they could have
No, this
handled
is-
the problem for us.
This is the future. They self-regulate. You're fine. They're safe to leave on.
Future.
Let's turn them off anyway, just to be safe.
And the thing just goes back into
Yeah,
like,
if
the
nothing
power
else, it'll be
saving mode.
creepier when Helios's people get here, and that'll be funny.
But yeah.
I
You're
go
able-
boopity boop. And I go boopity boop. And they have been booped.
Nice. You have booped the snoot of the power generators.
Alright, so I guess we can go report to Helios that everybody's dead, but the place seems good to go.
Did the actual kind of undead peoples that we fought at the initial, did they leave behind any bodies, or did they all turn to dust?
They all basically collapsed in on
They've-
themselves into like a little black hole and disappeared. Like they went.
So half of the crew were spummies,
Oh God, I
and the
forgot
other
about
half
that.
is gone.
Thanks for reminding me, McKenna.
You're welcome.
Yeah, the
My
last
pleasure.
episode was called Spummy Jam.
Spummy jam.
Go check
Come
it out.
on and slam, and welcome to the jam.
Anyway,
He hates knobs. He hates spummies. Why do you?
I'm
hang out with us?
I'm just a hater.
He's
Just
a hater.
It's the ramp you was showing.
Alright, so yeah, I guess we can be out of here.
Your ship kind of like picks you up just
Before
from
we
the
go
other
again?
one, and you're able to get back on it and start heading back towards Helio if you want.
I check for any
do just-
messages.
Yeah.
There's not.
Well, I know needs be. I'll be meditating.
Oh, but we were going to have a
Understandable.
conversation about our personal lives, Rash says.
God, me speaking as Matthew. God, I would hate to hear that. You want to talk about yourself in a group setting?
Yes, we were going to get to know each other more. I was going to tell you about my grandchildren, only the ones that I like.
I think Darius has the right idea. I think a little bit of rest would do us all some good.
Oh, okay, I'll get started on a nice little dinner for us then. We're doing goblin gumbo tonight.
Thank you.
Sounds wonderful.
Can we just do like a quick like low flyby around the exterior of this space?
Yeah.
Oh,
I just want to see if there's anything crazy going on outside of it.
and
You find a number of bodies floating in space. Enough that account
the ones
for
we were looking for.
Yeah, enough that account for the rest of the queue, because during the rotation of the moon, it left.
Oh.
And similarly mummified.
Similarly mummified, although these ones don't appear to have any life to them.
Can I make some sort of history, arcana, whatever, to see if I can't discern what might do this to a person?
Yeah, you can make a Arcana check or religion.
Also, just as a note, when I get back to my room, I'm going to take a moment, kind of just center myself and place a hand on the floor or the wall and just ask the ship, anything hop on board while we were gone?
No answer.
That's not an answer.
Evie, ambient magical energy can sometimes be a cause. It would kind of depend if they had like regrets when they pass, they might turn into space undead. Maybe a combination of all of that, maybe whatever slew them. If you're like going like as you guys are doing that fly around, you manage to catch you manage to basically account for everything but one shuttle. And that one shuttle is just missing.
That is the one that the kid would have gone down in, right?
No. The one that the kid came down in is accounted for. It would have been like one of the first ones.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sorry, Rose, what was that?
Oh, I said I guess the snake got away in that one.
Maybe. Well, those logs would have been from like years ago.
Could be more than
The
one.
snake would have been dead by the time these guys got here.
Well, the snake was already a skeleton, so it could have just been hanging until it had a way off. I don't know.
Tolatio remember we saw him with it.
With one, but he said they are here now, like plural.
Oh, maybe. But I mean, they would. I don't know. Maybe we'll see.
We've
See,
already
I'm sure.
seen the effects of them being here.
Yeah. Right. So, but I don't have a way to know what would have mummified them. Because it could be ambient magic, it could be a lot of things. Is there any specific creatures
Not without pulling them onto board. You wouldn't be able to do that. If you pulled one onto like the ship, you could do a medicine check on them and like do an autopsy.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna have to. Evie's gonna earn that fucking money from Helio.
That's fair.
If we have like space,
Yeah,
like,
you have like there's a
grabby
little
pinchers.
claw. It does actually like the ship has like a little crane game sort of aesthetic to it because like it was Luna's turn on the deck, so there's like a little crane game and it's just like flashing. It says the claw, flash, flash, flash. Yeah.
And we're like, clawing a dead body out of space.
I mean, it's Wind Waker, right? Like you take your treasure chart and you go out and you.
Yeah. So
If there is a way that I can get it onto the ship without like causing an issue, if I can have it in a sealed space.
yeah, you can.
All right.
So you pull it on. It is now in basically a sealed sort of like autopsy, like a quarantine room. Do you want to make a medicine check?
Honestly, I think I will do this in the airlock without air in it, holding my breath.
Fair enough.
I can hold my breath for up to an hour.
Fair enough.
So I will do that medicine check. 13.
13. So you have to sort of peel away the suit that they had on, and get down to the skin. But other than that, there's no real like damage to the body. It is just mummified. The worst you see are what appears to be like some bruising across the chest.
Okay.
With a little bit of necrosis, like a little bit of necrotic energy lingering on them.
Huh.
And otherwise, the body's just been mummified.
ID card?
Yeah,
Nothing.
probably part of the suit. An ID card with like their name on it. Not Jenkins.
Not Jenkins.
Jenkins is like my go-to unimportant.
No.
Everett Manning.
Sure.
Wasn't expecting to hear my middle name come out of nowhere.
Wait, what?
My middle name's Everett.
I will
a name that's not dropped very often.
No. Everett Manning, because every man anyway.
I got it.
Yeah.
I got it. I will take the name tags so that we have something to bring back to Helio to be like, I am not bringing everyone's body back to Barry, unfortunately.
That's fair. I mean, space burial's a thing.
That's horrifying. A burial at space. Also, I think we're done with the autopsy portion, Rose. You're good. Well, Everett Manning gets airlocked right back out into space.
It just reminds you the same motions of the other Eevee.
Yeah, Evie just kind of like perfunctorily sort of just does all of this in the airlock, holding her breath, like closes the door, like airlocks, and then just goes. I will have to make a note of that. So forms of necrosis.
So necrotic
light bruising,
damage.
is that in line with what we have seen from these ruin ice things? This cult.
You've not dealt with anything like that from the cult. All you've dealt with from the cult are people doing like necrotic damage. Like it's the same damage type, but like this appears to be a much more intense version of that damage type. Like they were mixing that damage type with physical force. Whatever did this was mainly using that damage type, as if it was some sort of like evil smite or something, maybe.
Good to know. Well, we have our answer for Helio. I do not think he is going to like it, and I do not think he should build a club on that moon. But I don't think we will be able to stop him.
It would possibly be a one of a time or a evening of a lifetime. Any club that is there? No? Okay.
We can give him the information, collect our money, and what he does is what he does, I guess.
I am going to take a nap before dinner. And Evie sort of...
I also need to sleep because, well, I do not feel good.
Are you ill?
I just do not feel completely myself.
She feels drained.
I feel drained. Like perhaps my maximum hit points are reduced twice.
Whatever that means.
This is a condition that will go away with sleep.
Yes.
Enjoy your rest.
Okay. Like, how can I say this not meta?
As you guys are heading to your rooms, you do see actually Darius emerge from his, and he just starts kind of puttering around and like walks through the kitchen and starts just opening cabinets and looking inside.
Bim, who never goes to his room, just kind of like comes up, it's like looking for snacks.
No, concerned. A thought occurred that while we were out, there was a lot less wary eyes on the ship, and I wasn't able to glean anything from communing with the ship itself. So I am hopefully worrying about nothing.
Millis just pipes up. I mean, I was here.
Yes, but that's just one set of eyes.
Okay.
No insult intended. Just for my own peace of mind, I'm just gonna give all the spaces where something might be hiding about. I'll look over.
Fair enough.
So I'm going to bit slowly and carefully sort of just make my way through the entire ship, starting out from the kitchen area, working my way down to the cargo area, then back up towards the bridge. I'm just going to be poking around, looking for anything that's sort of out of place or different. Why is this mysterious slime trail going into space between the bulkheads?
Bim kind of follows along and kind of helps and kind of just makes a time out of it.
Nice.
I appreciate the assistance.
Y'all don't find anything nefarious, Darius, you find when you're like looking like on top of like a cupboard in like the very back corner of it, you find
no.
what appears to be a like some like food that's been like put back there. It's probably like 5 or 6 days old. Eris probably threw it back there and never grabbed it out.
Aww.
I'm just gonna poke it with my hammer.
Just kind of sticks to your hammer.
Now sticks in a way that makes sense for what it looks like.
Yeah, like it's like
Okay.
it's like gross food sticking to the thing that you're poking it with.
Okay. I will untangle my hammer and I'll use like a sacred flame to sear away any gunk from the hammer.
Fair enough.
Nothing good, better than fire, getting rid of impurities. Don't take that in a weird way. All right.
This is what I'm talking about. When I'm talking about hypothetical explosives. On a non-related note, as we're traveling, have you put any thought to making a container like I mentioned before?
Remind me as to the specifics of the container.
Just, a container that can be lugged around but can contain fluid that's probably sturdy, resilient, isn't going to be damaged easily.
But liquid tight?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, I think I can rig something up that pretty easy. I'm surprised we may have something either like that or something that can be made into that fairly easy somewhere in the cargo bay. You'd think there would be some sort of container down there. Like, go into the kitchen, like, how much Tupperware do I have? Or an old
Rash has
large
a good
container.
Amount, Rash has a good amount of Tupperware.
Well, I'm thinking
I don't mean
maybe
literal.
Something that was an example. A little sturdier than that.
Yeah. That was an out of character example. Just, like, I'm surprised how much stuff you have in your kitchen when you go looking. Yeah, I can probably whip something up fairly easily. Happy to help.
Great. Any chance we will have that accessible when we get back to Helio's place?
Yeah, if you want me to make it a priority, I can whip that up. We've got a couple days.
Yeah, you have
travel?
about 2 days of travel.
Yeah, I can probably, assuming I can just find the materials lying about, that will not be difficult.
Fantastic.
Oh, is this the Eevee box?
No.
Okay.
He's not making a box for. He's not putting Eevee in a box.
Out of character, is this a box for Vim once he enters his chrysalid stage?
No. He doesn't need liquid for that.
I don't know. Maybe it needs to be moisture proof.
Maybe Vim just.
Also, meta note. Vim knows nothing about this chrysalis save.
Maybe he's instinctually nesting.
He has no idea that's happening.
Maybe Vim just wants
I'm sure the caterpillars don't either in real life.
Oh God, what's happening? Oh, I'm beautiful.
They're just kind of like, I just am gonna crawl up here because something's
He is always hungry though, so there's that.
Yeah.
He's hungry caterpillar.
Is your stats going to change to you only know like harden?
I don't have.
That's what level 5 is. It's all just like we have to carry around Viv like a football and his little chrysalis, while he just sort of like.
God, I want.
To be fair, if you want to make it actually fun, he could also like have some sort of an aura as long as we keep him alive and carry with him.
It's not quite that bad.
There's
a stage, but it's not that.
Have them use harden and then use him as a club.
Oh my God, we could use the Kakuna token that I've made for like fireballs and things. And Vim could just have poison stings.
Oh,
like the little crossbow acts like as a turret at the bottom of the cocoon.
To be fair, in the intro, it is a Kakuna silhouette.
Yeah. Anyway.
With antenna.
So, during those 2 days, is there any conversations anyone wants to have?
I think that very night, Evie plugs in that flash drive to a little laptop or something and sees what's on it.
You plug into that flash drive, and it is basically The equivalent of Dr. Tolatio's like college assignments.
I laboriously read through
It
every
is like
single
every
one.
dissertation, every assignment, every paper, every piece of homework that they had to do. And it's kind of drab, but there's like a lot of information here. There's a couple of textbooks, so you could probably like sell those textbooks for like 300 credits.
Damn, selling the textbooks on the dark web. That's wild that a digital version of the credits would get that much. Or that digital version of the textbooks would get that much.
Don't persuade him otherwise. Take the 300 credits.
That's assuming
And
Evie
you
sells
say
them.
thank you.
That's assuming Evie sells them. I know.
Is the sentimental value more than 300 credits?
Well, I mean the sentimental value, yes, but also the possible actual value in terms of the information that they might hold. Is there any relevant information in them?
It's just like space physics, space xenobiology.
Xenobiology.
Yeah.
Anything that might pertain to either myself or Vim?
Nothing that pertains to it's just like general organism information. It's like most organisms have some sort of central processing area. It's like a general 101 textbook.
I suppose I can sell it. It's probably gonna be a little bit though. Anything
But now
else
the
interesting in those notes?
now the navigator taking those extra jobs for a little bit of spending money makes sense.
Yeah.
Not really. It's just their assignments. Like other than sentimental value, in the sense that this is the person that created Evie when they were starting their journey as a scientist. Yeah.
Interesting.
During those 2 days, does Darius get
Nope.
setting?
Oh.
Darius spends 2 days unable to meditate and starts looking like a cat left out in the rain.
Darius.
Just kind of falling apart before your eyes.
Rash brings you like some warm milk.
All right, then I fall asleep immediately.
Yeah.
But I do probably complete your thing, and it turns out to be almost like a little backpack with a container.
That could work. I could make use of that.
To
be fair, I don't know whose kinds of arms the straps are for. I didn't fit them at 4 nubs. But that's
We'll figure it
adjustable.
out.
Oh,
We'll figure it out.
now I'm thinking like grade school Vim, going to school with like a little backpack with like slots for each of the bug nubs. And then like a bully,
little
And then
nubbins.
immediately
a bully
gets
off
expelled.
Terran picking him up.
Then immediately gets expelled.
Oh.
So, probably not that first night. He probably gives that time. But the next day, Vim is going to seek out Evie.
Evie's is kind of in her room, is probably taking pretty routine shifts between like her room, checking the autopilot to make sure everything in the ship is kosher, and like eating maybe like once a day.
She wouldn't hear Nessa knocking, more like a few nubs just
Nubbiting?
scraping at the door.
Come in. She's researching.
What you doing?
I found a flash drive on the ship, and I am reading through old dissertations and essays.
The ethical. You're currently on the ethical use of artificial intelligence. How for labor related job tasks.
What was his take on that?
There is no
very
real
telling.
that once like you have like once you have something that is an artificial intelligence, it's not right to force it into labor without compensation.
Okay, that's, a good thing. That's a good take.
Yeah.
I've just been researching. What of yourself? What have you been up to?
Uh, There's and I looked around the ship for something. I didn't really. He was worried about something, so we looked around a lot.
Worried about what
Reading.
specifically?
He said something about we were off the ship and nobody's eyes were really watching it so much. So just, give it a good once over.
Oh, would you like me to check the vents?
I'm sure he'd appreciate that at some point. I I can't say that I understand all the things that we saw at that lab.
Mm.
So kind of just wanting to know where you're at here on this, what we saw with your doctor there and what the portal thing was, and if you're finding anything useful.
In these notes, this is likely from his um schooling. These are not research. This would be pre-portal research. I just thought it might be interesting.
Okay.
Um, is there something specific about our time in the laboratory that you did not understand?
I'm trying to kind of piece it all together. So, to be sure, the version of him that got was not the version that you knew.
No, although it was still unpleasant to watch.
Right. And that was before you.
Yes.
You know how long before you?
That's a good question, Will. You did give me a number. It looked to be
10 to 15 years.
10 to 15 years. Okay. And I'll relay that to them. Yes, that appeared to be 10 to 15 years before we came in contact with one another.
I guess I don't know much about when he did everything. Like, I don't know when he knew whatever version of Mother Myrtle that was in those pictures in relation to me or in relation to you.
You can actually answer that question, Evie. Because now you have
Explain.
now you have the context clues for it. You can put a better timeline together. The experiment that would possibly be the one that was related to Vim would have been about 4 to 8 years before you.
Yes.
Yeah.
And Vim would have been his first foray into this whole business.
One of the earlier ones, yes.
Interesting. Then yeah, I will also relay that to them.
Like, Vim would be experiment number 3.
No, he's not, because I am
You're
experiment number 3, version 13.
Yeah, sorry. Well, my brain attached Evie number 13 because of that. He would be experiment number, 0.5 then.
Ooh.
Okay.
Yeah.
He could also technically be experiment 3, version 1.
Actually,
It depends on what the phases of the experiments are.
With that logic, we'll go with that. Experiment 3, version 1 would probably be the best way to put it. Then, yeah. I think with your giving your explanation of it, the Evie's naming, progeniting, I just took it the wrong way when I was making my timeline, so I have to rejig the timeline in my head now. But it's easy enough.
For sure.
It's easy enough to rejig it.
For sure. Yeah. It would have been about 4 to 8 years before me. And like I said, Mother Myrtle was not around when I was, nor was she around during any of his research regarding the portals.
Whatever version of her that they're showing is nothing like who I knew. And
I
guess
thought you
that's
said that you did not know Teletio.
no, the version of Mother Myrtle that they were talking about and showing in those pictures that we saw didn't seem like anything like the Mother Myrtle I knew. I never heard of him until you. I didn't even know. Mother Myrtle never
Right.
talked about him, never talked about my arc, never talked about any of this stuff to me.
Hmm.
And she told me stories, but not about any of this.
I wonder if Luna was right
What?
when she said that he was specifically crafting heroes. Because raising someone on stories and fairy tales, I feel like, I mean, when I say fairy tales, I do literally mean tales from Fae, um, is a good way to raise a folk hero. And if you were the first iteration of that,
I don't know if, I mean,
but it
I
is not
can't
in
say.
line with. You heard what was said in the bedchamber console, I'm assuming.
I have been getting parts of everything and I'm trying to fit it all together and I don't really get it all.
Okay. From my understanding, and it is helpful to me to vocalize this because it is a little bit messy. Um, he was experimenting with portals, specifically windows into alternate universes. In one of these alternate universes, there was a blight of some sort, something necrotic and malicious. And with protals, sorry, Will.
Gotta
um,
proofread things before you hit send.
Am I going to delete Judith, or am I going to delete Scout from the universe first?
Anyway, these alternate universes, I am assuming that these creatures can travel between them, and that once they are made aware of the existence or are able to visualize it or see it, they are able to travel there. They saw the Tolatio that I know through the Tolatio that I did not know, and was able to come to our universe through that connection. They were in that laboratory in some way at some point because Tolatio killed the one that killed his alternate self. And that inspired him to create life forms that might be able to handle those creatures. He said that he would leave them at the labs after he was done there. But that is the part that I am having trouble with. Because that is not what he did with me, and that is also not what he did with you. So
Wait, he
that
said
phase of the experiment is has a number of uncertain variables.
What was the thing that he said he was going to do and didn't do with us?
Leave us at the laboratories
Oh,
to fight
no,
these
I've
creatures.
never been to a laboratory until these last, I guess, weeks.
Precisely.
This has been the first time as I've been.
So I am forced to conclude that that was an old version of his notes and that he went in a different direction, because logically it doesn't make any sense, at least for where I am right now. Perhaps, taking over a laboratory in the future was in the cards, but if the goal is to have life forms that fight these necrotic creatures, it would make no sense at all to not inform them. And beyond that, leaving me with my arc makes even less sense if that was his goal for me. Um, so clearly, these are incomplete notes, because he left that laboratory and we would need to find his new laboratory. And obviously, he wasn't going to leave any trace of where he was going if he was worried about those creatures following him. It is my hope that eventually we find more of his notes to see what he did after he left that moon. Until then, we are only left with hypotheticals.
I don't know what I think about the possibility that just a bunch of us around and created to get rid of these things that he let in by mistake.
I also think that Luna's theory has some weight to it, especially considering how many of her was made. Did you there? Did you there? Were you there?
Did I
Did you
there?
hear? Did you hear what she said about the alternate realities that were consumed, and her theory that he may have been trying to repopulate them, or finding a way to repopulate them, create something from nothing in a world that currently has nothing? That would be the only way to do it.
But wouldn't I guess I don't really know what when we're saying there's nothing left in those universes, I don't know what we mean. Like, are
Nothing
there
is a very
worlds just
difficult concept
unpopulated,
for sentient
or
beings to grasp.
it's just like, are there worlds that are just unpopulated, or is there actually just like Astral Sea and nothing? Because just throwing created people into the Astral Sea in another universe doesn't seem like a very productive.
No, that's a good question. Will, can you elaborate on specifically what was shown?
Void. Nothing. Not even Astral Sea. Complete nothingness.
There's no such thing as not even Astral Sea.
So, like the vacuum of space?
Yeah, something similar. With no stars, with no nothing. Just void.
Vim, you know
Yes.
when you are in the airlock, before that air is released into the airlock, but
Mhm.
after Astral Sea has been cleared of the airlock.
Mm-hmm.
There is nothing in the airlock in that time. Nothing. No Astral Sea, no oxygen, no carbon dioxide. Just nothing. The worlds that were left over would have been exclusively that, a vacuum.
I think you'd need. I don't know. I guess the creating of people seems like jumping the gun a few stages, but I don't know. I why I think it might be more important to prevent this universe from falling to that before worrying about repopulating other places.
Well, yes. Um I would agree with that, but I also think that Tolatio has the tools that he has, and he is many wonderful things, but he is not a fighter. Um, I mean, there are 11 creations between myself and yourself. It is possible that in that time, some of them were more successful.
Honestly, I don't even know what success means in this.
Right.
And I'm still not entirely sure what to think about the idea of creating things that are real out of nothing and have this purpose placed on them, but because it's kind of all-encompassing destruction, it's kind of throwing you into the
Perhaps it is
mess.
creation for the sake of creation to atoll for the destruction.
It
Um,
still comes down in a way to you create something and says, okay, well now you have to do this big thing.
in
And even
fairness,
if you don't like it,
neither of us were ever told that. I was never told that. You were
no,
never
but
told that.
if we were created for the purpose of it,
Which
it's
is
still the
exactly
intent.
why I don't believe
If,
that that was the end result of the intentions of his experiment, because it does not align with either of what we have ever been exposed to.
yeah.
I fully believe that there has to be more to this. There has to be more to this.
Do you think
If you
out
want more of his thoughts about creating intelligence, he wrote an entire dissertation on it. She pulls it up and is like scrolling through and reading it to you.
It's MLA formatted.
Oh, beautiful.
Yeah.
Cisis sorted, sources cited.
Sources are all cited.
when Luna found the sword, she got like a couple little bits of memory back, didn't she?
Luna received a memory of how her previous clone had passed. It was
Oh, was
Rylan.
that it?
Yes.
With so many apparently versions of her, I wonder if she had her memories, if she would have a much more complete picture than either of us.
Possibly. That is interesting. But to answer your moral query about bringing life into this world for a purpose, I think at the end of the day, that is how most life is brought into this world, whether that purpose is for the sake of creation or the sake of wanting something to parent or the sake of wanting something to project onto. I think people are made all of the time through more biological means, for any myriad of purposes, or arguably worse, for no purpose at all. I think it just depends on your
All of
perspective.
all of that I can be fine with. People can have like children or whatever, and it's all boring and it's all whatever they want it to be. My issue would be if it were the fact that we were created, and whether or not we were told or not, we were created with this specific purpose in mind that we don't really have a choice because if we don't, it's all destruction. I think anybody who would create something that's real and like has thoughts and putting them in that position, I don't think that that's okay.
Is that not all life, though, that is
No,
brought
it's
into at least
not.
this reality?
No.
Whether
it's
knowingly
not.
or not, every baby that is now born is going to be born into a world that is wrought with destruction. All of them.
I
Whether or
think
not the parents know that, though, is
I
different.
think it matters if you're doing it on purpose. With that picture in mind, with the idea that these ones are gonna have to handle it. If that were the case, we don't know.
If that is the case, and many signs point to that not being the case, I don't think I am as bothered by it as you are. I think perhaps there is a possibility that the reason some of these experiments were marked as failures is not because they failed to be sentient or alive, but because they chose otherwise. If you give something free will, you should expect it to use it. Otherwise, you could just build robots and have them do exactly what you want them to do.
I expected that to get so
I
philosophical.
just
It sure has.
What is free will?
Hi.
And regardless, impact over intent.
Impact over intent is the name of the episode.
Oh,
it matters, and it just makes me feel like I'm trapped in it. I don't like it,
You could walk away from it.
but I couldn't.
What is stopping you?
Because if I don't,
Well,
if
he's got tiny little nubs.
if I stop, if
My
I
nubs
stop,
You can't run that
I
fast.
can't walk away from it.
it's also a metaphor.
Just catch up.
because I still don't fully understand how I'm here, what I'm like, what this all is. If you were to tell what we know, the idea of how I am here to someone, they could very well just say, "Oh, well, that's not really a thing that exists. Like it's just a figment of imagination." So, like my kind of presence with everything feels very tenuous to begin with, and putting me in a position where, oh, well, you could just walk away, but if you walk away, destruction, everything, that it's kind of
I
like handing
suspect
something to me, then that's terrible, but also the only thing you can have. And then saying, well, if you want to get rid of the only thing you can have, you can, and acting like that's a choice.
I think that is a very pessimistic way to look at it. And assuming that you cannot create things for yourself is not only discouraging, but patently untrue, as I have seen you create many things for yourself, relationship dynamics, goals.
I don't mean not being able to do things along the way. I mean on the big end of this, these things seem to be coming, and it seems like it's not really clear what me existing means in the first place. And then the only way to keep existing is to do this thing that's not a choice. It's kind of the only thing there is.
I'm lost. A choice is a choice. You may not like the options, but it is a choice. And I think pondering the reason behind your creation is Darius's business. That's, I think, how people turn to religious practices like that in the first place, is it not?
I have no idea. I don't know. I don't know what Darius does, okay? I don't know when he's off pretending to sleep. I don't know what he's doing. I don't.
Darius prays, Darius meditates, Darius ponders the intention of everything, the meaning behind it.
It's more than intention that I'm confused about. That's part of it, but it's not all of it.
Hmm.
The one person I knew before any of this, I knew apparently a version that doesn't seem to exist for anybody else, and I am here, but based on what you said experiments were that led to me, what does like it doesn't really make a whole lot of sense that I exist. And I'm here. I'm not like giving that up or anything,
I would hope not.
but it just does kind of feel a little bit like, well, I'm put in a position where I have to fight for something that doesn't make a whole lot of sense to have in the first place, but it's all I've got as far as being here, existing. I don't mean like, I don't mean that you all aren't real or something to experience too. I just don't understand where I don't understand how I got here, and I don't understand why I'm here, and I don't understand like what I don't understand anything about this.
You come from, where did you
So
go?
I do think you are asking me what the meaning behind life is, and that is so wildly outside my wheelhouse that I don't know how to respond.
I don't
7.
42. Okay, I get it. Will.
I'm not it's not just life. I think it's different though. It's different. There is a difference between just like, oh, people having a kid, like, and whatever I am.
Does it bother you that you were created with a purpose in mind and not for the joy of having created something?
I it's it's not that somebody, oh, I have a purpose for this thing. It's more that
The purpose is fighting, theoretically.
no, the purpose is stopping this impossible thing, or all destruction seems to be the purpose, which
We do not
doesn't
know that it is impossible. This isn't Ruby.
well, you know,
Are we fighting the fucking Grim, you piece of shit? I'm gonna fly to Canada and beat your ass.
I wasn't worried about them being the Grim. I thought these were like Phyrexians.
Skeletal creatures
They're not
with
skeletal.
necrotic damage.
They're not
Yeah.
skeletal.
Weird-
Seek the destruction of all things.
They're not
I'm
skeletal.
noticing a theme here. Sorry.
All will
weird
be
reality
one.
eaters, like impossible seems like in the
Listen, y'all.
ballpark.
Sorry, what was that, Chad?
I said these weird reality eater things. Impossible seems in the ballpark. I don't mean that it's impossible for us to win. We've killed some of these things. I don't mean impossible in that way. I mean impossible in that they too. It's strange that they exist at all and don't make a whole lot of sense. But we're put into this thing that it's a that or nothing.
Feisty.
I'm saying that this is a big difference between some people had a kid and they wanted that kid to do one thing, but the kid could do another thing because that's just everyday stuff. This isn't everyday stuff.
No. Does it bother you that you were not made to do everyday stuff?
Well, my everyday stuff might have been different from their
Hypothetically.
everyday stuff. It's not, I wouldn't care if there wasn't any purpose at all.
Right.
That doesn't matter. It's specifically.
So then it is the knowledge of this encroaching danger that is.
And specifically, it's specifically that it's not really a choice because the alternative is non-existence. But it
so
seems
if you
like I
had
was
not
plucked
known
from
about.
But it seems like I was plucked from non-existence to be here to do this thing. So
If you had not known about, and I think from this point forward, I will just call them blight monsters until I think of
Sure.
something better. If you had not known about the blight, would you not be feeling this sense of ennui?
Don't know what
I'm
you just
sorry.
said.
I don't mean to trivialize it. I just don't know a better word for it.
Well, yeah, of course you can't worry about things you don't know about. You can't be like bothered by things you don't know exist. I'm just saying I don't like the idea of that, and I don't know what that says to me about this doctor. But I also everything else about me makes me not know what to think
Oh,
about this doctor.
so this is not a conversation about grandiose macro concepts. This is a conversation about your trust of the Dr. Tolitio.
At least in part. There's also the whole concept that I don't even understand my own existence at all, but not in the sense of like, oh, I was born, what do I do? Meaning that I literally
Right.
how I was apparently created does not make sense to me.
It is a little esoteric.
And I
Um,
like I feel like my existence is on kind of a shaky ground.
are you worried that as perceivably, I don't think your being brought into existence was easy, but is it a concern that because of the unpredictable nature of your creation that your destruction will be equally unpredictable?
Yeah, I mean, when I left, Mother Myrtle wasn't even conscious, and there were the other people like her. And what if she just wakes up and I disappear?
Oh, I see why you are distressed about that. That is. I am hoping that Peace Blossom will come back with more information about her.
Oh yeah, her.
Vim right now.
um, I am hoping that she will come back with information for you because I am also um
I get. I'm not trying to like trivialize your creation or Luna's creation. Of course, we don't really understand Luna's creation
mm-mm.
really at all. It's just kind of out there. It's just kind of, and I'm starting to put together some aspects of why what it was like before I left and what it was like when I left, why those were different. I think I kind of understand
Before
why
you
just
left.
the the forest, the Gloamwood where I was with Mother Myrtle, like when all those years or I don't really know how much time it was. It just seemed like forever. The Gloamwood looked a certain way and it felt a certain way and was a certain way. But then when I left, it was very different and like duller and like brighter, but also not in a way. It was lesser than what it had been before, and I kind of maybe understand why that is. In a like if you put it on if you wrote it down on a page, I could be like, okay, this makes sense. But when I'm thinking about it, it doesn't make sense
Hmm.
because I guess I was never really there until I left.
I wish I had more answers for you regarding Myrtle. Um,
Also, are you really, really mad at my arc and kind of want to inflict pain on him? Because I do.
I have no interest in even speaking to my arc. You are correct in that I am angry at him. I just don't think it is worth my time to interact with him, regardless of whether it is to inflict pain or anything else. He is a liar, and what he says cannot be taken with any amount of merit. I don't see the point in speaking to someone who lies constantly through their teeth. Their opinions and anything that they have to say is worthless as far as I am concerned. I am willing to help the crew members of that ship because they were kind to me, and because I do not like that Valduke Orly is threatening them the way he is. But I have no interest in engaging with my arc on any level.
Because Will, how long would Vim have been on that ship with Myark?
Like 3 or 4 months.
Okay, and how long was Evie on the ship?
Like 1 or 2 months.
You told me around 3 months.
Yeah, so around 3.
So wait, was Myark there before her? Or did he come on
Before.
with her?
He came
Before.
on
He
before.
was like a
Okay.
member of
He
the
was
crew.
there with you.
Okay.
He was one of the people that picked you up, and then
Okay.
Evie got dropped off. I think though, on that note, that was a much deeper episode than I thought it would be. I thought we were just going to have some fun, spooky lore times, but
Vim's freaking out, man.
Very jealous that I didn't get to be a part of it.
I'm sorry, Matthew. For what it's worth, Evie has lots of opinions on Darius's religious concepts.
To be fair, no one's actually ever asked Darius technically what he believes about the spark of creation.
That's true. That's true.
Y'all making a lot of assumptions.
Vim's not making any assumptions.
I
Vim
assure
doesn't
you
understand
that
it at all.
Luna
and
has
he's
no
in-
thoughts.
no thoughts.
Yeah, you can't make assumptions about things you don't think
Okay,
about.
Vim's making one assumption, that meditation is pretending to sleep. That's the assumption.
Well, then, my friends, why don't you all go off and pretend to sleep with some meditation? And we're going to say thank you all so much for coming to tonight's episode of The Astral Calling here on twitch.tv/tabletop rolls. Don't forget to check out our many other shows here on the channel, such as Salt and Sorcery tomorrow, and of course on Monday, the Strength of Thousands AP. Thank you all so much for coming. No one we know is online, so we're just going to say have yourselves a good night. Bye-bye.